Now a story that has been a long time in the making. In fact, it has been developing for more than a quarter of a century. It was 28 years ago that a Victoria man went for drinks at the Crown and Eye pub, now known as Sopranos. At the end of the night, he was tired and ready to go home, so he left the bar to go grab his 10-speed bicycle, but it didn't happen. The bike was gone for nearly 3 decades, but now it is back. CTV's Joe Perkins has the story. He joins us live with more. Joe.
Reunited, and it feels so good, Hudson, but if you were to ask Tony Roche, he'd likely tell you that it would feel even better if he wasn't part of such a big problem in Victoria.
Brakes work. Nice and smooth. Oh, needs a little air.
It's a blue Norco 10-speed bicycle that now sits in a James Bay warehouse. 28 years ago, it belonged to a much younger 21-year-old Tony Roche. He was out for a night at the pub. When he left to head home, his bike was gone.
I figured, I'm never going to see it again, right? I wrote it off, basically.
Nearly 30 years later, the bike is stored at Roche's work, and the questions surrounding its return are still puzzling.
I'm not sure if it was just turned in because they thought it was stolen or if they had just located the bike. But, after 30 years, I imagine that it's got quite a story, right?
Probably, but no one, including Roche, knows where the bike's been the last 28 years. Roche didn't really care. His mind as of late has been on another two-wheeler.
And I was hoping it was that electric bike that I just got. I was all right, they got it, but no, it wasn't that.
He's a repeat victim of bike theft, a growing reality in the capital region.
People say Victoria is the bike cycling capital of Canada, but it's also the bike theft capital of Canada. Serial number on the bottom of the bike.
Newer bikes have serial numbers that stores such as Trek Bikes recommend cyclists record.
Yeah, the other day somebody posted this on Facebook, and this gentleman was walking around downtown with the bike's probably worth about $4,000, and he was trying to get 20 bucks for it.
The seller didn't end up making the sale. Instead, Vic PD was called and the bike ended up here.
So basically what this is any bike that's been turned into us, any bike that we've found on the street or that people have called in for.
It's a room that sees a steady flow of bikes and was momentarily home to the blue Norco, only the Norco was unique.
There you go, look at that.
Roche had engraved his social insurance number into the bike, making it easy for officers to reunite the two.
It works just fine. Little air on these tires. Brakes work.
Roche says he's owned 8 bikes in his life, and while he won't admit the 10-speed is his new favorite, he says he has plans.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll probably be a good fixer-upper. It's an antique now, isn't it?
An antique with a story that's lasted 28 years. Roche was working all day. If he wasn't, he would have come for a test ride with us. He says that he'll fix the bike up. He's already put WD-40 all over it. It's still in the warehouse and will stay there. That's where all the tools are. Vic PD says that instead of putting your social insurance number, it would be better if you put your driver's license number. It really helps connecting people with their missing or lost, stolen bikes. And as far as Roche goes, he says it is a pretty neat story. He might even use the bike, put it into his rotation in the near future. But neat story, Hudson.
All back to that night in 1983.
All the way back then.
All right, Joe, thank you. Joe Perkins reporting.